Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome. Beautiful people, you are all welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, like we like to say. It's the Artsy Thursday edition. Woohoo!
And we are coming to you live from our TVC studios right here in Lagos. And we're trying to, take a window into your homes. Thank you so much for letting us in. Hopefully, we bring some good cheer and a hamper filled with great content.
Yes, indeed. You get good cheer. You get good cheer. Everybody gets good. Anyhow, before you get into the hustle and bustle of today, hey, take a moment, guys, and taking a deep breath. Now that's done. Let's get on with the day. It's just a gentle reminder to enjoy every single second, every single moment, every single person. Greet them with a smile. Start the day on a good course.
So, when there's life, of course, there is hope. And with hope comes a lot of possibilities. And we're going to be helping you take on the day with what we have planned.
Absolutely. First off, I want to say that I'm into t-shirts now. Yes.
T-shirts?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. There's a certain freedom that goes with them. I'm not exactly the t-shirt kind of guy, but I got a stack of them recently, and I've been like, oh my goodness.
It feels good. Relaxed.
Exactly.
You're not a banker anymore.
After 5 years, yeah.
Wow. But yeah, so I think Mazina is getting to a particular stage where
midlife crisis.
Yeah, you talk about
it's post having children, pre-death.
Wow.
Sorry.
Oh,
so grim.
No. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
My name is Mazino Appeal. Of course, we also want to remind you guys that you have to watch us. You might be doing so already on channel 16 for GOTV and 49 for UHF.
Yeah, or on our website live, tvcentertainment.tv, or on Facebook at TVC Connect.
And you must follow us already. If you don't, please do. It's TVC Connect across all our social media platforms. And please remember to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Now, guess what? We have an app available for you to download. It's available on Android and iOS. And no matter where you might be, at your convenience, you can also watch us live right there.
Absolutely. Now, let's let you guys know what we have for you for Artsy Thursday here. We're going to start off with our tech segment. Izzy Boye. Now, he's a video creator, tech enthusiast, and also gadget freak. He's one of the top leading tech influencers on social media. You might know him already. Well, he'll be here with us inside of the loft. We are going to be talking, understanding our smartphones better.
And of course, we have a book chat. The book for review this morning is Go and Write Your Script, written by Wale Banjo Fakuyi. He's an image consultant, thought leader, TV personality, and so much more. Can't wait to see what this book is about.
Are you catching me? You didn't catch her.
No, am I in this shot? Really? I wasn't in this shot. Okay,
you are
now.
How invested are you guys in social media?
Question. Really good question.
Do you think you're as invested as the new generation?
I'm getting there.
I'm
getting there, and I took it as a business decision.
You just don't want to get old.
No, it's actually more of a business decision now. If you truly want to sell, like make sales to a particular generation, that is where their attention is.
Yeah.
They're not really looking at the outdoor billboards anymore. Their heads are down on their phones. What are they looking at a billboard for?
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Oh, you had a question earlier, however. What was that again?
So what if Instagram, Facebook, or let's say social media generally, what if for some reason they were shut down permanently? What would you do?
It would actually really help.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
We would all get back to reality.
I agree.
We would all communicate more.
Yeah.
Learn to understand each other more. Our interpersonal relationships with one another will improve. So yes, I am all for it.
I was at a friend's place and we were going to go out together. He was going to bring his daughter, and as she was coming out, she was like, "Oh, Daddy, can I bring my tab?" And she said, yeah, cool, go ahead. And she went and I said to him, you know something? She's going to miss out on a lot as we drive to our destination.
Yeah.
How about she keeps the tab so she can see the world? Because young people these days just don't
see much.
If you were to take out all of these social media platforms, for me, I think the only disadvantage is that I'll have nothing to do while I'm on the John. But apart from that, which is very funny.
Okay.
Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Are you going to say you don't?
Great.
You do,
Hold up.
You do, don't you?
Hold
Okay,
up.
so there,
Hold up.
I tried to...
Interpersonal relationships is what MM described. But when it comes to my business and making money, in quotes, to the average person, hold on, Who interpersonal relationships app? My brother and my sister, how many shirts can they buy from me? How many dresses can they buy from me?
How have how have businesses been thriving?
So that's the thing. Thriving is relative
to the season,
to what is happening now. There's some people that don't even have a shop, but they're selling so much online.
We're not saying that
you get my point.
Media doesn't play a role. It does. But the truth of the matter is, if we have come to this time where social media is now present, I'm sorry, where technology is now playing its role, if there was no technology, something else would have presented itself, and we would always find a way to, thrive in whatever situation that we are faced with.
We will always find a way.
Evolve.
Yeah. That's what human being
yes,
is
because
all about.
you know what? We have weather, but this conversation is not over. We have to take a look at what the weather's going to be like. Will you need an umbrella? Hello and good morning. It's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Onyison. Thank you for joining us. President Tinubu is in France, and in our updates on the first official visit of the president to France, we've received briefs from Ambassador Laro, the Permanent Secretary Adamu Lamua, and other officials from the Nigerian embassy. They presented Nigeria's position on the summit and scheduled sideline meetings with leaders and multilateral institutions. Recall that President Bola Tinubu departed Abuja for France in Paris for the Paris Summit for the new Global Financial Pact on Tuesday. President Tinubu is expected to also participate, review, and sign a new global financial pact that places vulnerable countries on priority lists for support and investment. Kayode Egbetokun has assumed the role of Acting Inspector General of Police, taking over from Usman Alkali. The acting police chief reaffirmed his commitment to professionalism and said the police under his leadership will become a reflection of what the society desires. Acting IGP Egbetokun acknowledged that there has been instances of misconduct, unprofessionalism, and high-handedness involving police operatives, but promised under his watch, policemen will be held accountable for their options.
I acknowledge our citizens' deep-rooted concerns and grievances against the police. It is no secret that the Nigeria police force has faced its fair share of criticism in the past. Instances of misconduct, corruption, and abuse of power have eroded public trust. I am before you today to declare that such behavior will not be tolerated under my watch, and there will be proactive steps to instill discipline across the ranks. Accountability will be the cornerstone of my tenure as Inspector General of Police. I am committed to fostering a culture of professionalism.
And now outside the country, over 29 people have been injured, 4 of them seriously affected after a large explosion in central Paris. The blast took place in a building that housed a design school and the Catholic education system headquarters in Rue Saint-Jacques in the 5th arrondissement of the French capital. Emergency workers are searching through the wreckage of the building, with at least 2 thought to be missing. According to witnesses, there was a strong smell of gas before the blast. This incident is happening as President Bola Tinubu and other world leaders are in Paris ahead of tomorrow's new Global Financial Pact Summit.
And you're welcome back, yay!
Yeah.
So it's always news when a billionaire is in town, or should I rephrase and say, it's always news when my uncle pops in.
Oh wow,
See
your
the
uncle.
informality there. I have the Ashoebi to prove it. Stop looking at me square.
I'm
Wow.
wearing it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that the Ashoebi?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bill Gates is in town. He was in town for the Advancing Africa conference put together by Lagos State, helping
Lagos
youth to
Business
see,
School.
helping youth to see potential in Africa and helping build Africa and everything. But it was something very unique that happened as he got up to give his address. He said that his daughter had told him that she was so excited that he was going to get to see Rema and Burna Boy when he visits.
Yeah.
But then he said, I remember coming a couple of years back, it was Davido and Wizkid, however.
Wow. That
If you
that he went to
remember,
see.
there
Yeah.
was something making rounds as a viral video of
True.
David O saying new cats and everything.
yeah.
Doesn't that give credence to the fact that?
Well, a billionaire said it, so I guess it does.
Why? How so? Why?
Yeah, but it's usually what the young people are listening to and talking about that makes you, in quote, hip. And that's the word he used. He said he's hip now, you know, that he's a cool dad because he gets to go to a place where Rema and Burna Boy are. And he'll probably be welcomed by them, you know, if he requested to see them being a billionaire. They
If you
won't
take the
stop him.
hierarchy of placement in
Okay.
order of, you know, how he regards them, it would seem like he put Davido and Wizkid way ahead of Burna Boy and Rema. Am I correct, or would I be wrong? Or if I was to look at it from the perspective of his daughter, that Rema and Burna Boy are much more relevant than the likes of Davido and Wizkid.
Okay, so there are a few things, things that we need to note in his speech one of those things that he noted was Afrobeats from Nigeria are popular everywhere. So I don't think it's a hierarchy thing here,
Yeah.
you know. So let's not try to.
But it is a relevance thing. You
Yes.
can't run away from that fact.
Yeah.
Yes. If you go on TikTok now, is the new cats on the social media platform.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to the Gen Zs, that's where they're probably living these days, right? And what are the songs that are making
The rounds.
that are more
Rema
prevalent?
definitely number one.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, and his daughter that you know that mentioned or that talked about Burna Boy and Rema. She's a Gen Z, she's 20 years.
Yeah.
So she's in that, you know, age
group.
in that era where, you know, the new cats are, you know, all over the TikTok space. And it's normal that, you know, she would also want to, you know, should be aware of, you know,
So going back to what Davido
the
said,
new cats.
was
Yeah.
he correct when he says that they paved the way for Afrobeats because they were there before Burna Boy and Rema, by the way? Would you say that they're much more relevant even than the likes of Two-Face, for instance, who laid a foundation not to be understated?
In my opinion, each set of artists are relevant to different generations. That's
Generational,
one. But I think that he's well in his right to say something like that because I'm talking about Davido now. He's well in his rights to say something like that because of the investment he's made in the industry, in other people as well. Even though
I got something.
Even though he came from what's considered a well-to-do home,
I got something.
he still hustled. Yeah.
Take away TikTok, would Rema be as big a star as Two-Face was back in the day without the instrumental apparatus of Facebook, Instagram, social media generally? Would he be relevant? Question.
So if we
take
take
notes.
away social media, then what happened to the streaming platforms? Because will they be there?
They won't be there. That's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make. So
Yeah,
if
because
Face-
the streaming platforms
are very instrumental.
They're very instrumental. So they are also they also play its own role when it comes to giving some of these artists their prominence and global recognition as well.
Let's not forget the relevance of radio. Good old traditional radio.
You see, you're hitting the spot.
I
So
would
sweet.
always, so I played songs like that on the radio, and the ones we go to are the ones that resonate with the most people.
I raise
the
this
ones
point
that are more
because
popular.
These days, you can make a hit, sit down, and it's going to blow if you just have the right vehicle to push it on social media.
Yeah,
Or
sure.
maybe even if you can sponsor it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for the old, genuine cats like the Two-Faces and the rest of them, who actually had to carry their tapes. I remember Faze
They
coming
carry
to
them.
to the radio station.
Yeah.
Guy, my guy, how far now? FTTA, how we did? Like, you know, that kind of thing. How did they, if you put them in this climb now,
Will they
social media,
survive?
they would blow bigger, is my point.
I
don't
Make it
know.
back
Well,
then.
then you also have shows like the Wake Up Nigeria show. Wake Up Nigeria show
But-
has hosted quite a few of these new
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah.
Right? We got it.
We've had them
Yes, we
actually
have to blow our
perform.
trumpets.
Let's-
Yes, they have performed here on the show and from their, you know, they started in their early,
Yes.
days.
Yeah.
Spyro has been here. Oxlade has been on the show. Fireboy has been. Fireboy
Mike's
has been on the
favorite blackface
Black-
was on the show.
You know what?
show.
So what I wanted to say was that if you wanted to base it on performance on a stage, pulling in tickets at a crowd,
sales.
at a venue, there are some artists that probably would not make the cut. because it's
Current
all
artists.
about, yes, in the current space, because it's all about the performance on the stage. Some can make it online with streams and promotion, but put them on a stage, a live microphone with a live band, they would probably sink into the floor.
Two artists
that,
come
to
to
be
mind,
honest.
yeah, when it comes to the use of social media as an apparatus earlier on.
Yeah.
Files was very, very good, and Kiss Daniels. What did they use apart from social media? They also use comedy as well to push their music.
True.
Were they great on stage before they blew, however? No.
No.
True.
They were not. In fact, I still think that if you put, I love Files, I'm a great fan, but if you put him on stage next to some other people, I think you'd rather
I think you'll drown it. I think they're going to drown it.
She said it, I didn't.
Well,
Files, I'm
hey,
your guy.
I'm just saying
No,
there's a
yeah.
difference. People are attracted to these artists for different reasons. Some, it is just based on purely the music. And the second they actually see this artist in real life, probably the love for their music might even
Okay,
be.
Nice.
Mazino, let's talk about Davido for a second, right? Let's talk about Davido. When Davido came back to the music scene, a lot of people were not exactly feeling his music.
You mean his current album?
His current album.
Okay.
A lot of people were like, nah, not doing it for us. A lot of people, there were a lot of sentiment. People had so many things to say. But there are two of his songs from that album that stand out now.
Yeah.
And it is the airplay.
Yeah.
The more people hear it, the more it begins to, it begins to shove it into
agree
people's,
with you.
it begins to be, it has not grown.
I agree with you on that fact that
literally.
it grows on you
Yeah.
eventually, but initially it might not be.
It might, yes.
You know.
So it still does depend on how much you've invested in your music. There was a time where you invested in having the best instruments, best equipment,
Best
production, but now how much you're investing in the distribution, marketing of
Controversy,
it. And-
portable.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's
how
what
is
it now is.
Sorry, but I'm going to say it. How is Portable
Popular.
popular? I mean, this is just
It's
a
not your
dynamic-
market
No,
now.
I am not saying it's a
not your
bad thing.
market.
I'm not putting him down. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it needs to be studied in faculties in school.
It probably is
because
going to
it
be.
is so outside the normal.
But Mazino, do you know why Portable is popular?
Why is he
Because a lot of people see themselves in Portable.
Yeah.
A lot of people are Portable out there, right? So, and funny enough, it is even the larger number
Very true, actually.
that can relate with a Portable.
I agree.
So that, and you know what? You know what's most fascinating about this age? The fact that people just come and be ordinary.
Yeah.
And we're all tired of that facade. We're all tired of that, nails,
Glam, glam.
looking all glam. Come and be yourself.
Just be
People
raw.
Come and be
will
real.
accept you. People will take you because they can see a part of themselves in you.
True.
It's the originality now and the authenticity for a lot of people.
But I still feel originality and all that can be faked as well now. Someone can create a brand that is made to be ordinary, you know.
Based on that, I would end by saying that I still believe that it was the originality in the past that made our artists who they were. Phases to two phases and on all of that.
Yeah.
In fact, Phase did sing a song called Originality, didn't he?
Yeah.
Originality.
No, stop singing. Stop singing.
Stop it.
Stop singing.
Don't voice shame me.
I'm not voice shaming you,
Don't.
darling.
Sorry.
Don't.
But
Listen, you look great, but don't sing.
let's take a quick break at this point so that she can actually hit us like she plans to.
And we are back. Thank you for staying with us. Welcome to the kitchen, guys. With me this morning is Chef Ben.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, viewers.
Yeah, you continue.
Yeah, my name is Chef Ben.
Yeah.
Today I'm making
Chicken concassé. Yes, chicken concassé sauce with fusilli pasta. If you're wondering what concassé is a French word for to crush. That's what it means. Concassé, to crush. Concassé French, to crush in English. That's what it means. So let's talk about the ingredients for our chicken concassé sauce with fusilli pasta.
Okay, so we have my chicken here, chicken breast. I have here green bell peppers. I have my onions. I have my garlic. I have my jalapeno, red jalapeno. I have yellow bell pepper and I have tomato. Yeah, I have here my curry, my chicken cubes,
Okay.
my salt here, my thyme, and my oregano spice. And of course, I have here my olive oil and my Tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce. And if you're wondering what exactly are we crushing here, it's actually the tomatoes. Yeah, so the concassé basically is a tomato sauce puree, more like, right? But the tomatoes are crushed, right? But how do you...
Well blended.
Well blended. So
not well blended.
Not well blended. So what are we doing? What exactly are we doing with it? So just show us how how we're crushing these tomatoes.
So you're going to dice the... You're going to seed the tomato.
Okay.
And dice it.
Ah.
Yeah, this is how you're gonna cut it. It's just like crushing it, but dicing it very tiny.
Very tiny.
Yes.
Okay. So that when you cook them, you practically do not see them anymore because they like more like dissolve into the sauce.
Yes, sure.
You see why you should always tune into the Wake Up Nigeria show, because there's always so much to learn from. Great. So what are we starting with?
Okay, so my water is on fire. So I want it to boil a bit before I add my pasta there.
Okay.
So it will take like 7 minutes for the pasta to be done.
Okay.
Then my pan is already here. So to saute the chicken.
Okay, what are we doing with the chicken first off?
I'm gonna dice the chicken first.
Okay.
I'm going to dice the chicken and dice my onions.
Okay.
So by the time I drop my oil, I'll add my onions and garlic. Then I'll add my chicken and saute it with the jalapeno pepper and seasoning spice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This looks like a very easy recipe, right? I know someone watching right now might say, "Oh, what is this again?" But to be honest, it's a very easy recipe, right?
Sure.
Very, very easy. It's like making tomato sauce, but in a more sophisticated way, you know, because hey, we're going to Italy here. We're going to France. This is a French meal. This is a French recipe. Not every time rice and stew. Sometimes do something, you know.
Something special.
It's something special, right? Something different. And that's why the Wake Up Nigeria show is always here for you. We always bring it, you know, giving it to you back to back in different, you know, from different places, from different parts of the country, something, you know, to spice up your kitchen, spice up your cooking, you know, at home. Okay. So while we are prepping things up here in the kitchen, we're going to start with our chicken, right?
Yeah.
And then move on to our tomatoes, and then we're going to, you know, also work on our fusilli pasta, right?
Sure.
Great. I think we have to head over to the couch now for newspaper review with Titi and Mzino.
Yeah, it is about time we take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning. Really important headlines have been popping up throughout the week. Mazino, of course, is right here with me.
Hello. Thank you very much.
All right, so at this point, we are just going to scan through the headlines. First of all, board's disruption, or rather dissolution. Board's dissolution. It says here, 2,000 vacancies open for APC faithful, Tinubu's allies. That's 153 agencies, parastatals, others wait board members' appointments, and don't sacrifice competence for political patronage, OPS tells president. Right at the top left there, we have this one. It says, hearing continues in Dezani's case for forfeited assets. Egbetokun plans tech-driven policing, improved welfare. DSS combs Bawa's Abuja home, extends probe to associates. And we also have a photo story there. It's Lagos Rice value chain creating 2,620 jobs, according to Sanwo-Olu. I think that's a welcome development, if you ask me.
I wanted to touch on one of the headlines that you might have missed. Labor fumes as Armafak hikes politicians' salaries. A lot of people have been talking about this since yesterday when it was made known that it's been approved. And I was asking individuals how they felt about the situation. I don't know if I can ask you personally. How do you feel about the situation?
I feel like it's something that, you know, everyone is asking for a hike right now. Everyone is asking for
including political officers.
Including political officers. It's always been a debate.
2009 and now political officers have had over 500% increase in their salaries, while the common man, everybody, since 2009, from when it was 7,500 naira to now, when it's been suggested that it be 200,000 naira, which of course they're saying that they can't. Instead, they're going backwards to 60,000 naira. Have only had about 300% increase. And if you compare with inflation, how much richer, and in quote, we are between now and then, you'd find out that we're richer back when we were earning 7,500 naira as minimum wage than now, even if you increase it to 60,000 naira. So it's plenty of concern for individuals who are normal people, especially the poor who need to breathe. When you now tell that political officers will be getting 114% increase in salaries, that will bring the president's wages to somewhere around 8.5 million naira from 3.5 million naira per month.
That's
so there's plenty of concerns and plenty of
completely
individual.
finalized at the end.
Plenty of individual. How do you put it now? Well, preferences about the situation. It's very.
So there are a lot of other headlines right here for us to look out for. Lagos rice value chain. I think that was interesting. Creating jobs has always been on the mandate of Sanwo-Olu, so they're definitely working on that. We have also some information about so a follow up to the story. DSS combs Bawa's Abuja home and extends probe to associates. So it's not just about him now. They're also looking into people he's been working with over the years. Now, we have other papers with us as well. The Guardian has the major headline sort of reiterating what Mazino already mentioned earlier on. Proposed 114% pay rise for public officers complicates minimum wage negotiation. And the term proposed is still there, so it's just on the table. It's still open for discussion. Now, the negotiation for minimum wage has been ongoing for the past month, and that's another conversation that needs to honestly be wrapped up before, of course, there was an impending strike at some point.
Yeah, the strike is still on the table if after 8 weeks there's nothing, or they've given 8 weeks for all of this, including everything that's happening with all the price hikes in petrol, electricity, and all, with some sort of palliatives for the poor. But if nothing like the NUC says, TUC says, goes according to what they have discussed, they perhaps might be going on strike. One very interesting headline I wanted to touch on is something that concerns you and I here. Still on The Guardian, road diversion, motorists, commuters decry unending suffering on Lagos. Hang on a second. That's not the one I was going to go for. But something about the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and the FRSC telling that the fact that it is our fault, you and I who ply the roads, who are using it, because everything has been set for all of us to actually ply these roads regularly, but that we have some miscreants, especially the yellow buses. I'm going to look for that headline. I kind of like misplaced it. My apologies.
I do tend to agree that there are a lot of people that are, in quote, breaking a lot of traffic rules, causing complications on the road, and there has been quite a bit of traffic on that expressway over the past 2 or 3 weeks. Constantly at almost all day. There's probably very few times in the day when the road is actually free. So there is something to be said about maybe some yellow buses, commercial vehicles causing obstructions, maybe taking one way and the likes. But at this point, let's move on to the next newspaper. We have the Vanguard newspaper with us now. It says here, steer clear of more borrowing. DMO cautions federal government. Says 73.5% of the revenue will be used to service debt in 2023. Advocates privatization, sale of government assets to reduce borrowing. It also says here, caution, or rather, well, debt servicing revenue situation is precarious, according to Abid Doye. Right at the top, it says, Play 2, about 14 killed in night attack on 2 communities. Kano governor reinstates anti-graft commission boss suspended by Ganduje. UK businesses responding politely, positively to Tinubu, according to British High Commissioner. Tribunal, Tinubu INEC kick as Obi tenders total PVCs in 32 states.
I wanted to talk about that major headline, steer clear of borrowing, as the DMO cautions the federal government. We didn't borrow any extra, but in the past 3 weeks, we now owe more. Nigeria as a country is now owing more because of the increase in the floating of the naira and all. So if you owed me money in dollars before and you make your money in naira, you can imagine how much more you have to work to actually make up extra that's on that the naira has fallen. I think yesterday the naira was going for over 790 naira, close to 800 naira if it hasn't crossed it by now. So you can imagine the effect that has on whatever it is that Nigeria is owing as a country. Borrowing more, that's quite counterproductive at this point. But where do we get the monies to make all the, you know, little things that we need to do as a country? We look inwards, I guess.
I actually believe that there's a lot of workshopping to be done into different areas, different industries, to see where we can make more. And giving, in quote, the young people a chance to bring up their ideas, especially in the tech space. I think there's a lot of money to be made there. I actually also think there's a lot of money to be made in pharmaceuticals here in Nigeria. We've not looked into that. That's something that India is benefiting from majorly. But hey, hopefully there's someone listening right now that will be able to have a discussion like this. We have been looking forward to your comments on this as well. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria_ONTVC. We're going to take a quick break at this point and be back with more.
We are back, people. Thanks for staying with us. Welcome to the kitchen. With me is Chef Ben. And this morning he is making chicken concassé sauce with fusilli pasta. I know, right? Someone's mouth is watering right now, and it's not mine. Right, so please run through the ingredients once again and tell us where you at. Let's go.
Currently, I'm doing prepping now, so I've done my chicken.
Okay.
So
What did you do with the chicken?
I diced the chicken.
Okay.
So in cubes.
Okay.
So the onions and the red bell peppers and green bell peppers and tomato chopped.
Okay.
So currently I'm chopping my garlic now.
Okay.
So I have here my salt, my curry, and my thyme, my seasoning cubes, and my oregano spice.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do now, I want to start the process.
Okay.
So that's a bit of olive oil.
That's for our chicken concassé sauce, right?
Yes.
Now, if you're wondering where the fusilli pasta is, it's currently cooking already. So please take off the lid.
Okay.
So they can see that it's cooking. And we're just going to, what are we doing with the pasta?
What you said?
What are we doing with the pasta?
Okay, the pasta, we are going to strain it out when it's done.
Okay.
So you put that one separate. So you put the sauce on top of the pasta.
Oh, like having rice and stew,
Yes,
or like having
a kind of
spaghetti.
bolognese,
Great. Yeah. And if you're wondering, or if you're thinking, well, I don't have fusilli pasta, I have spaghetti. That's also okay, right? I think the thrill of this recipe here this morning, it's the chicken concassé sauce. Great. And there was something you said about the tomatoes earlier on.
Okay, so you have to deseed. This is a tomato. This is a whole tomato, so you deseed it. And you have the skin. So you chopped it. Yeah.
You chop them into really tiny pieces. Okay, now, earlier on we talked about what concassé means. Concassé is actually a French word, which means to crush. And what we're crushing here is the tomatoes, right? And that's why, you know, we had to deseed it first before chopping, you know, the tomatoes. And on your screen right there in a few seconds was the ingredients if you missed out on them earlier on. So it's a very, very easy and simple recipe. Yes. Nothing complicated at all. I know someone thinking, oh, French, where am I going to get this from? Where am I going to get that from? All of the ingredients are very easily accessible to you. So quickly, before we head over to the couch, we have our onions already chopped and in the pan. What's going in next, quickly?
Next is garlic.
Okay, garlic to give it a little more taste and extra flavor.
For some time, for like 2 minutes before you add your chicken.
Okay. And then chicken, and then what's going in next?
After the chicken, you add your tomato.
Okay.
The seasonings.
Okay.
And you add the plum tomato.
The plum tomatoes. Right. Okay, I've never had chicken concassé sauce before, and I'm so excited that I get to taste out of this. Yay! I know, right? Okay. Okay, we have some perfect things here in the kitchen. We have to head over for some tech discussion with Mazino and Izeboye. Hi, guys.
I was to introduce him before I do. I was going to go do the whole drum roll thing.
Oh, hello.
fault it. It's all good. No wahala. Welcome. It's time for Tech Now. Discussing with us this morning is Izzy Boye. He's a tech content creator. He is also here to discuss something very interesting with us, understanding smartphones better. Now, Izzy, you're welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
May I ask, what kind of a tool are you using? Android, iOS?
Android.
Android, fantastic. Thank you very much for being modest. Now, there's a current conversation going on. First off, our topic is we're trying to see how we can maximize our smartphones for our benefit, whether it's content creation, making money, and all the rest. But how can I have an 800 Naira phone and I have not made back my money?
It's 100,000.
Hey, wahala.
And depending on when you bought it, it could have been 1 million
Exactly,
plus.
exactly. And I haven't made back that 800,000 Naira. Am I maximizing it in any way at all? Or how can I maximize it so I could perhaps maybe get back that amount?
Well, if you are just using it for snap pictures, social media, scroll through social media and maybe make calls, and you're not maximizing it, you're just using it to satisfy your maybe what you want to do on the internet. But then maximizing it means you are either working with it or you are using it to create content. It could be photography, it could be videos, content. Like we have content creators that basically use their smartphones to do all their content. And I think if you see most of the content creators today, we have the most popular ones. They started out with the smartphones that they had, making their videos, and now it has grown into something big. There are people that are freelancers that use their smartphones. They don't have laptops. They use it to work, do like basic work that they don't need a laptop for. So the smartphone is basically a tool, like a small computer that you can use for a lot of things. But then it really depends on what smartphones you buy and what purpose you are buying that smartphone for. Some people just want to belong.
Exactly. Now, so let's go back to that conversation. It depends on what smartphone you buy. You say that as a tech expert. Now, are you saying that if I have perhaps an iOS brand, would I be able to maximize it to the extent that I make more than if I had an Android brand?
To an extent, but you can really achieve mostly the same thing with both. It just depends on how
I just
you
wanted
use
to clarify that.
Yes, it just depends on how you use it. Yeah, I think that for iOS or Apple phones, they have their strengths, and there's a lot of things you can't go wrong with because of how it has been used to work, while Androids have their strength. But if the purpose is maybe for creation, they both have the tools for that. It just depends on how you decide to use it.
So let's talk about maximizing it as a content creator, for instance. What am I doing wrong? I got it with the intent to actually help my social media life and also to push business as well when it comes to, well, perhaps, I don't want to tell what my business is now, but how can I maximize it as an influencer, first off, and maybe as a brand influencer? No, that's the same thing. As a marketer.
Okay, so the first question I'm going to definitely ask you is, since you got it, what have you been doing with it? How have you been?
Pictures of Mary and everybody.
Yeah, so I think you have to look at how it's going to, being an influencer is kind of building an audience. And an audience follows you for the value that you give to them. So sometimes, we have lifestyle creators. They go somewhere, they tell us what they are doing, and people follow them for that. And then we have creators that snap cool pictures, edit it very fine. People follow them for that. So if maybe all you have been using with your smartphone as you go on social media is to like post content, consume content.
Yeah.
Not give audience.
I'm a consumer, actually.
Yeah,
I'm mostly a consumer. But I also think that some of the tools that I might need for content creation, I'm not very versed at them. So if I want to be a content creator, what apps should I be maximizing on my phone? Should I strictly be on Instagram, or is TikTok a better app for influencing? Is Facebook still alive? These are the questions I want to know.
Okay, so Facebook is still alive, but
wow.
Facebook has a huge, but I think most people are kind of tearing towards TikTok, Instagram, mostly because of videos. So I would say for TikTok, it's easier to grow on TikTok, right? Someone can dance and just be consistent, and before you know it, hundreds of thousands of followers. It's a little harder with, say, YouTube or Instagram. But if you are creating, if you want to create, as someone that wants to be an influencer, you have to maximize each of these platforms.
All of them? All of them
Yeah,
together?
I think if you ask around, I'm sure you have TikTok on your phone.
No, I don't actually. I'm old school.
Old school. So what do you have? What social media?
I've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the big three, and no Snapchat or TikTok.
I don't have Snapchats.
Yeah, so why is TikTok relevant? Why? Is it because of the digest material that people put on there?
To an extent, to a good extent, yes. And I think because of maybe TikTok understood how people consume content.
Young people.
Young people, yeah. Mostly young people, actually.
Exactly.
And, you know, most of the other social media, you open it and you see one or two things. You know, once you open TikTok, it's content straight. And all you are doing is scrolling and watching and scrolling and watching. Unlike other platforms where you have your page, you have to do a lot of things. Content straight. So I think TikTok understood that. And I know when they started, they tried to like, let your content be as short as possible. Before 15, 30 seconds, you have gotten. So I think it even became more popular during COVID. And yeah. So it's faster on TikTok because people just go there to just scroll, watch. And if you see most of the content creators, even the comedians, a lot of them, like, it's on their smartphones.
Yeah.
So the main thing there is not really what social media apps you want to use. It's what content you want to create, what value you want to
So I
give.
first of all have to pick my content before deciding what tool I want to use.
Yes, you now know that, okay, the people I'm trying to reach, they are on TikTok, or they are on Instagram, or they are on Facebook. They are usually everywhere, actually. You want to get them everywhere they are, everywhere it is possible. So if I want to create, and the good thing is that, you know, the way TikTok videos are is vertical videos.
Yes, so we were coming to that. Vertical versus horizontal. For content creation and maximizing the use of this, which is the best? Vertical, you say?
Not really. I'm more, I think horizontal is the best. But then they serve different purposes. Vertical is straightforward. Just do it quickly and let's go.
Because it's natural to hold your phone so and
yes, most people film like
most
this.
of the content I would want to, or perhaps I would want to see them this way. Doing this is counterproductive for somebody my generation. Yeah,
because like I said, most kind of serve different purposes. If I am trying to get more detailed information, I might not want to watch it like this because, like if I want to go and learn something, that's why YouTube is there most of the time. That's why they put mostly vertical videos on YouTube. You have 5 minutes long videos, 10 minutes long. You can watch full movies, right? Vertical.
So horizontal would be the
So imagine if you are watching maybe Fast X like this.
First of all, I'll never watch Fast X, but then again, I can imagine that it would be rather odd.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the vertical content, I think it mostly targets people that don't want to spend too much time watching one particular thing instantly. So that's why you see most content creators that are shooting vertical content, they try to keep it under 1 minute, right? Watch it, go before 15 minutes, 30 seconds, you have gotten the value you came to that video for. So if you as a creator, why I said it's easier to grow on TikTok, because vertical videos are less than a minute. They require less effort in terms of trying to create them. Creating longer videos like horizontal videos, it takes a lot of time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a lot of editing goes into it. Yeah. So
from what you're saying, what I've gotten from you, first off, I need to know what kind of people I want to reach out to.
Yes.
Decide what kind of content I want to give to them, decide how, or the format, YouTube, horizontal perhaps, longer videos or longer material, horizontal formatting, and YouTube would be the best tool. Yes. For younger audience, digest information, vertical videos, 30 seconds long, in and out of there. Am I correct?
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram, even TikTok. YouTube even has that now. Shorts.
Yeah, shorts. YouTube shorts. Okay, that's very interesting. Now, I've always said that I want to go about Nigeria chasing burgers because I love burgers.
Okay.
What do you suggest? Noting my age, I'm very young. Noting my age, noting my audience and food content. What would you suggest? Please set me off.
So for a start, you have an iPhone, right? It makes great video. Everybody believes that iPhones make. So make use of it. You go to some of these places or you order some of these things.
What format? Vertical, horizontal?
Vertical.
Short.
Shorts. Because
YouTube or Instagram?
TikTok. Instagram. So what works for Instagram, Instagram Reels works for TikTok as well.
Nice. Okay.
So, and then Instagram also gives you the tool to like pictures. So you don't always have to make videos. You can like, oh, this nice book, it looks beautiful. You snap it with your phone.
Nice.
Post it on Instagram.
Izzy, you set me off, and I'm going to definitely be starting my burger hunting this weekend with all the little samples and examples that you've given. Thank you very much for coming on the show. That's very interesting, and I hope to have you back. I'm going to pick out a topic that's very, very generational or contemporary for this generation, since you've given me this idea now, and we hope to have you back next time. Hopefully you'll be here.
I will be here.
Definitely. Well, thank you very much. I hope you learned something, okay? Horizontal for older folk, vertical for younger folk, depending on the crowd that you're trying to, the audience you're trying to reach. Thank you very much for sticking around. Do stay tuned. There's more coming your way inside of Wake Up Nigeria. That's it for tech. We'll be back.
Welcome back. It's time for the second half of the show. Hopefully you've had an enjoyable first half. We've started out as a techie Thursday on this edition.
You could say
think?
that. Yeah. I learned something very interesting. First off, the audience that you're trying to reach on social media is very important, and this versus this is also very important. I'm more this guy. I'm more.
So that's TV. That's 16:9.
That's seeing a movie in the cinemas. That's how we grew up. That's the old school. But these days, this vertical thing. Imagine going to the cinema.
And then everything.
And see, but it might happen. Someone will do it. Someone will say, first vertical movie ever.
Wow.
Like this. And then all you see is,
all the shots, all the camera work, everything would have to change.
It would have.
Everything. Same way.
Times.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, we here like to call it the eve of Friday. Like Friday Eve. Because we're counting down to the weekend, which is why we're dressed down today. And we have another reminder for you on, the fact that the week is almost up. Hey.
Yes, indeed. The weekend is already almost here. But the next 45 minutes is packed with content that will help you get ready for that pre-weekend Friday and then the weekend eventually as you gradually ease yourself into that weekend mood. So stay with us, don't go anywhere. My name is Titlaya Onisa.
My name is Mazino Appeal. If you would like to watch us live, you can try on UHF channel 49 or of course, GOTV channel 16.
Yes, indeed. Stream the show live as well. Please make sure you do tvcentertainment.tv. Is how you can do that. On Facebook and as well, it's TVC Connect across all our social media platforms, all right?
Hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Very important if you want to connect with us, if you want us to see your posts, your videos, the videos of food that you've been making. Speaking of food, ooh, yeah, can you smell that?
I can. It's coming from the kitchen with MM.
Yeah. It's lovely.
MM, what's up with the eyes?
So you all wanted to forget that I'm on this show.
Honestly.
Because of food. Nobody's eating this food. Other than the guests. Nonsense.
No, but the truth is, I was smelling the food, but I was feeling MM's glare more.
Please.
Like she was shooting daggers at me.
Did you see my side eye?
Yes, I did. I felt it. But we still have quite a bit more coming your way on today's show. We have book chats here. And we have a book up for review. It's called Go and Write Your Script. Wale Banjo Fakuyi is going to be right here with us. Image consultant, thought leader, television personality, and much more.
Celebration. I've never been. My apologies.
Aww.
To everybody who's for the culture.
I've actually never been.
Let's go together.
Okay.
Yeah, we should also just make an appearance.
Right.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should just go record.
We're gonna get a table courtesy, Yenny. So.
That won't be a problem at all.
Yeah.
But hey, guys. From the conversation on the What's Up and About, I got rid of on Bill Gates' daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What?
Her name is Phoebe.
Okay.
And so I was wondering why she should be fascinated about Afrobeats, right? And then I get to find out she has a black boyfriend.
Oh, is he Nigerian?
Yeah. No, he's not.
No.
I've seen a picture of the guy who's always smiling.
Okay.
Have you
His
seen
name
that
is
picture?
Robert Ross.
Oh, interesting.
Quite a hot-looking guy, but I must say.
Yeah, he's always very happy on social
Yeah,
media.
but why would he be happy? He's dating a billionaire's daughter.
I know, right?
Like, you better be happy.
Yeah, that's a happy.
to be sad about.
He is actually doing well for himself. I mean, he went to Stanford University, and he's currently doing his masters, and also he's doing. He's not young. I mean, Bill Gates' daughter.
Yeah,
he went
exactly.
through a process before becoming her boyfriend. You think Bill Gates had to sit him down and script?
So it's yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you would do that for your kids?
Oh yes, I would. I would.
Why would you?
Please.
Did they do that to you?
Well,
Scrutinize your partners.
Not scrutinize, but ask questions. My mom, my parents ask questions.
But at the end, they make their choice themselves. You ask the question.
Yeah, but sometimes you ask the questions just in case the child or the young person hasn't thought about it.
You're asking those questions.
Yeah,
so
it's important.
It might make you seem like the bad guy at that point, but maybe the person you're talking about hasn't even factored in some things.
Or would you go as far as saying, okay, so that boy is a no-no for you? Do it?
You can't cancel anyone anymore because that's just the quickest way to push them into their arms. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's the quickest way. Like,
Yeah.
no, you can't see him. I'm gonna run away with him.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
It's called something. I can't really remember the name now, but I would eventually find. No, it's not eloping. There's a name. It's called when your children are being resistant to certain information, like you're telling them not to do something or preferences from. They will do it. That's when they want to do it because they want.
So
I forgot.
It's about showing different options, helping them understand consequences of their actions at this point. That's all you can really do. So some of them are ready to face those consequences anyway. But
yeah, but before we move over to the weather, I need to say a big thank you to Robert Ross for introducing Bill Gates' daughter to the Afrobeat music.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Nigeria appreciates you.
Done Nigeria a good service. All right, let's do the weather now, guys, and then on with the rest of the show.
All right, then. Welcome back. It's time for another news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. Thanks for joining us. Now, Kayode Egbetokun has assumed the role of Acting Inspector General of Police, taking over from Usman Akali. The acting police chief reaffirmed his commitment to professionalism and said the police under his leadership will become a reflection of what the society desire. Acting IGP acknowledged that there has been instances of misconduct, unprofessionalism, and high-handedness involving police operatives, but has promised under his watch policemen will be held accountable for their actions. Outside the country, over 29 people have been injured, 4 of them seriously affected by a large explosion in central Paris. The blast took place in a building that housed a design school and the Catholic education system headquarters, Rue Saint-Jacques, in the 5th arrondissement of the French capital. Emergency workers are searching through the wreckage of the building, with at least 2 thought to be missing. According to witnesses, there was a strong smell of gas before the blast. The incident is happening as President Bola Tinubu and other world leaders are in Paris ahead of tomorrow's Global Financial Pact Summit.
Staying with us, it is time for our book chats. You know, we do this every Thursday on the show. And today, our book for review is Go and Write Your Script by Wale Banjo Fakuyi. He is an image consultant, thought leader, and television personality. You are welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I love this ambience.
Yeah, thank you so much. Such a pleasure to have you on our show.
Yeah.
Go and Write Your Script. That's quite an interesting title for a book. Anyone saying it? Well, I'll tell you what I first thought when I saw it. Go and write your script. I'm like, oh, wow, is this a script for the show? A script for a movie? And it turns out that go and write the script of your life, right? And now you wrote the book. What inspired it?
Now, I think our nation, Nigeria, an African continent, albeit a nation, it's low on the index rung. And that's my contribution primarily to the body of knowledge. I discovered that there's a music, like you mentioned, a book on the inside of you, and it will take your genius, individuality to bring it to the fore. And if you've watched Nigeria lately, you will see that Nigeria has been on the news for good. And I think if you ask me now, that the coast is clear. So whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're in the media, whether you're in the IT, we just watch a content creator here blazing the trail. So that's the central message of that book, Go and Write Your Script. And if you've gone inside, you'll see that it started with an intriguing...
Yeah.
Yes.
The first chapter, I mean, I love how you started. Quite, you know, a very captivating intro there. Fan your fascination into flame. Tell us more about that.
Yes. You know, a lot of, let me just use this balance. You know, sometimes you go to the suya man that you want to buy suya and you see the whole thing, the cold, and you're like, okay, am I going to be able to eat this because of the temperature? But after a while, you begin to fan the coal that seem coal now into hot, and you begin to see the flame come ablaze, and you're able to do that. Now, what we are saying essentially is the fact that this thing is intrinsic. It's intrinsic, it's in you, it's something that tickles your fancy. It's not something that is within another person, and that's why we're saying bring it to the fore. It will just be your innate desire, dislike, or like.
Okay.
Because a lot of time when people come with business model, it could just be that something that they are fascinated about, that's what they are bringing to the fore. Someone have a flair for IT, someone has a flair for media and stuff like that. So that's why the book was inspired. Great title there.
Yeah, fanning your
Fascination into flame.
It's more like bringing your dreams into reality.
Reality.
Just go ahead and do it.
Do it.
The attraction factor is something that also spoke to my curiosity. The attraction factor.
S factor.
What could be the attraction factor?
Okay. The attraction factor now, you know, a lot of time when things need to be in their perfect state. And a lot of time, because I wrote in the book too, that you can write, depends on the style you write, but you must also follow what we call best practice. You in media, you have what we call best practice or conventional proprietary. So a lot of time when you have what we call the attraction factor, it works in a lot of things.
Yes.
Like the other guy now was talking about content. A lot of time there are people you follow on Facebook and all that. There's something, there's a likeness, there's a connecting point. And one of the things I said, because we got reviews from several international media, and one of the media outfit was asking, I said, you can do this. You can fan your things into flame. You can have a mentor, someone that is a preview. It's always a preview of coming attraction. A dream, like someone that is living your dream already. So you follow suit, and that's attraction. Something is bringing to you, and that's why if you put an ant, you put a sugar here now, but that in a way,
it's going to
innately,
ants,
the ants will begin to flow. So that's what we call attraction factor.
Now let's talk about just a few habits that you highlighted here in your book. That's under intention.
Yes.
So here you talked about being proactive. You also talked about putting things first. That is on priority. Talk to us through, some of those habits that you've mentioned here.
Now, habits are powerful. Psychologists told us that we have about 21 days to form a habit. Now, as a nation, there are habits we must develop. A lot of time, you see, if you want to have a clean nation, you have to put bin, stairs, mayor in place. And one of the habits that I want to develop through this book is developing a reading culture as a nation and as an individual. Because we've seen that they said if you want to hide anything, put it in the book. But no, the narratives are changing. And one of the things we're doing with Go and Write Your Script is that we're going on a pedestal where we can tell our story and change the narrative. We have so much helplessness, lethargy around. So that's why you have to put things in place and go out and write your script. You have to be intentional. You have to be deliberate. And it will take you being proactive to do all of this.
Great. On chapter 3 of the book here, you talked about public speaking. Stand up and speak. We all know that not everyone is good at public speaking. And sometimes I ask myself, is it for everyone?
Now, yes, I'm a fan. I'm a public speaker, and I've been doing that considerably for over 2 decades. That have taken me to televisions and get several reviews from National Daily Independent, Vanguard, and all. Now, speaking is a leadership, is a leader's way of inspiring action. And this is one of the 4 basic learning language skills. It's for everyone. I remember it was one of the forefathers of public speaking, Dale Carnegie in the US, that said, he said it's not a gift bestowed on few really individual by providence. Everybody can speak if you have sufficient desire to do so. As a communicator, that's what you do when you convey your message. It will take time, it will take diligence, it will take practice. It's not, I've seen in our intervention, one tongue-tied individual becoming an eloquent and assertive speaker. Because it's important that we are relational beings and we converse. We converse now. But it depends on how astute you are in bringing your communication skill to bear. But with training, all of this can be achieved. It's a whole lot, but it can be achieved.
There was an example of a bird you used in your book here, referring to the eagle. And how there's so much that we can learn from the eagle. Quickly expatiate on that.
Yes, eagle is a very significant bird, and I mentioned there that there are lessons that culminate from the eagle that talks about bravery. a lot of time, okay, there's an example of how that a bird, an eagle, sometimes when they moved high on that altitude, there is a particular species of snake that can bite them. What they can do is that they can't do anything against the snake, but they just move towards the sun. And that speaks about resilience. And that's one of the things, if you've gone through the book, you see in every pages that this attitude of resilience that we can learn from all this bird. Because I believe that every element of creature have uniqueness, significance that we can take from them. An eagle is one of such bird.
Your book has a lot in it. It's packed with a lot of great content that I think young people need to vie into. They need to be a part of, you know, of everything that you have, you know, talked about in your book. Thank you so much for the lessons and for the experience, because it's a journey that you've taken us through with. Go and write your scripts. It's quite an interesting read. People, go and get the book today. Thank you so much for being here, Wale Fakuyi.
Thank you.
And we'll go on a quick break now, people. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Now, a conversation I've been looking forward to is this one right here. Joining us today on the couch are two interesting personalities from the Celebration Organizing Committee. Mr. Michael Okorie is the project manager, and Kachi Nwaya is the business support lead. Now, Celebration Organizing Committee is here to tell us a lot more about the celebration this year. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so it just feels like every year there is something more to look forward to when it comes to celebration.
Absolutely.
But you're here in, wait, what month is this? This is still June. We're not in July yet. Isn't celebration in October?
Yes, October. Actually.
Okay, so you're preparing from now.
Absolutely. It's actually a year-round planning for us here at the Business Support and the entire planning committee. So the work starts immediately after the end of celebration. So the work for next year starts immediately after.
Wow, wow. Okay, so I know that there are a lot of activities surrounding celebration, but most people look forward to the main events on stage. But let's maybe give people a little insight into what happens before then.
Okay.
Okay, so presently now we have the competitions going, the call for entry for submission. So we have the dance competition, that's the Afrobeats dance competition. Registration has started since June 1st and it's going to close in August 31st.
Okay.
We also have the artwork competition and we have the dress fella, which is the fashion competition. Wow. And the reason why we have started now is so that people can come in. It's a platform for young people to see an opportunity to showcase their talent. It's not just music. We have different platforms for them. We also have the secondary schools debate as well. So different schools, state school and private school, come and debate on one topic chosen. So I think it's a wonderful, you know, opportunity for different, you know, areas in Nigeria, different sectors.
I'm going to hop, skip, and jump back to dance competition. So are these Afrobeat dance competitions like the way fellas dancers used to dance kind of competitions, or contemporary? What are we talking?
Well, we're talking about dance, but the main idea is fela.
Okay.
So what we do is every year, whatever theme we choose for celebration, there is always a song by fela. For example, this year is Question Jam Answer.
Oh,
so there's a song by fela that was released in 1974, if I'm correct. Okay. So what we do is we put out the entries, call for entries, and dancers, choreographers, everybody put in. So we ask them to do a mixtape of any of Fela's song for round 1. So if you qualify for round 2, you then now come and do the theme song. So we have reputable judges, Shegun Adefila, we used to have Jeffrey Daniels, Funke Kuti, Auntie Yeni also, and Bumi Olunloyo, one of our judges as well. And the competition is growing. We've had competitors from around the world. A lady from Japan actually won the other time. We've had the competitors from Belgium as well. So it's quite a big one.
How best you can interpret that music.
Wow.
It's not until you are...
Whatever it is, how best you can interpret Question Jam Answer for this year, sir.
Okay, so on an average, how many entries have you had for competitions like this before?
Like last year we had over 20.
20?
Yes, 20 entries.
Okay, fantastic.
But that made it to the first round.
That made it to the first round, okay. So you have like a top 20 and then from there...
Yeah, we take it, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk singing now. Is it the same theme song?
Well, the way it is for the artists, the upcoming artists, you just send in your videos.
Okay.
So you'll be shortlisted based on whatever it is that you've sent. So when we tell you send it to so email address, how best you sell yourself is how you'll be shortlisted. So because we have too many slots and too many people wanting to come and showcase themselves. So that's
fantastic, fantastic. You know, I'm going to get towards the issue of prize money very soon. But I know that there's also a debate. Now, Fela was also always well known for his political views. So your debates, are they political topics or?
Okay, so we have two debates. Okay. One is senior secondary schools debate for the secondary schools one, and then the other one is the Fela debate, which is more or less political, ideological, if you want to say, and educational as well, because in the past we've had dignitaries, former Vice President has been there, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and several others. We've had Chimamanda, we've had PLO Lumumba, and this year we're also looking forward to bringing great people to come and speak on the debate.
Fantastic. I'm so interested in this. It does feel like Felabration has also become like a talent hunt as well. And I can imagine how much talent has been discovered on that stage, even before the talent hunts began. The fashion aspect is one that everyone will be looking forward to. There's always that dress Fela fashion thing going on. I can't wait to see the new designs.
Yes, we did the Median edition last year. We've always done online challenges, but this year we did like a proper runway. So when you send in your sketches, whatever it is, you win. You stand a chance to win 1 million naira. Mentorship from the top people.
Franco Shodi
last year was Larry da Silva. So platform for
they are judges.
Showcase themselves.
So, fabulous, fabulous. I'm looking forward to Felabration already. But I know that there has to be a website for entry and all that. So
for the website, you have www.felabration.net. You can also try us on all our social media handles. It's just Felabration NG.
Okay.
There's no hyphen Felabration
NG on Instagram,
Facebook, and Twitter.
All right, amazing stuff. Now, I've always wondered how many people can actually fit into that facility. I call it a facility now because it's a lot more than just a concert venue.
Yes.
How many people have you had at one time in that space?
Say during Felabration, we have close to 10,000 people.
Wow!
The main hall.
The main
you
hall.
then have the overflow outside that you cannot count.
You can't count. But
count.
inside the shrine, you can take 10,000.
Yeah.
Goodness me. And this is all up to code, I hope. This is all like this is all like, okay, I'm saying up to code because some people are kind of averse to crowds and things like that. But obviously, if you're averse to crowds, you shouldn't really be going for Felabration. But I think there's like a VIP section.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's not VIP.
We won't subject our artists to
the crowd.
Okay.
So our artists are special, you know, so we
take care of them.
Speaking of artists, that was where I was going. Do we have the lineup yet?
No, you get it the week before the Felabration.
The week before.
We'll announce it on our social media handles, so look forward to it. So keep coming.
I actually heard it's like lobbying in Abuja whenever Felabration is coming. I hear like
Felabration to perform is free. I charge all those things. So that's why those processes have to be like that. You know,
the concert committee headed by Funke Kuti, they are working round the clock to ensure that we get the best artists to perform at the shrine.
And then I hear everything is live. Everything.
Yes.
There's never any backing tracks or anything like that. Everything
live.
I really want to be at this one.
You should be there.
I really
it's
think
interesting.
And I really want to be at this.
You should be. I heard your colleague saying that he's never been there.
Oh.
It's quite a warm place. You're always welcome.
Right. There's security, so it's not that.
Uncle Femi is the head of security, you should imagine. So you can't mess around.
Interesting. Now I think I'm going to start thinking about what I'm going to wear. You know, I have to get
each day.
Yeah, for each day. Okay, well,
yes,
hey,
yes.
You never know. But it would be nice to see what talent emerges from this year's Felabration.
Okay.
Auntie Annie always say that if you don't blow after you climb the shrine stage, something is definitely wrong with you. So any artist that comes on that stage is blowing after they leave.
All right, fantastic. All right, I have to say a big thank you to you, Michael and Kachi, for coming to talk to us. They are from the Felabration Organizing Committee. There's a lot happening. Check them out on their socials. That's Felabration NG. They're going to be joining us in the kitchen.
Thanks for staying with us. Welcome to the kitchen,
you.
Michael and Kachi.
Yeah.
It was me.
Celebration.
It was you.
So
You have to make it a date this
You're good.
time.
You can come.
Plan special for me, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, wait,
Yes.
wait. I thought
Oh, sorry,
wow.
sorry.
Well, for us.
You are all welcome. In fact, you're going to meet us at the gate if you're coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you'll
We'll
be
be
treated
the ones to
nicely.
welcome you.
Thank you
Fantastic.
so much.
Yes,
I'm
thank-
really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the kitchen. This is Chef Ben. And this morning, he's made for you fushili pasta with chicken concasse sauce.
Ooh.
Right. So the sauce is actually French, so enjoy.
All right, please.
Enjoy.
We'll have a taste.
sauce.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Please have a taste.
Mr. Michael is like,
Wow.
I can't wait.
You can't wait, right? It looks so good, Chef Ben. Seriously.
Thank you.
It was really nice. And it's not so spicy.
Oh, okay.
You need to do on the Yoruba way, pepper.
Thank you so much.
So much, Chef Ben.
Thank you, Chef Ben.
Thank you.
All right. So, yes, we are already okay, so how did we call it? We said weekend eve.
Yeah,
that's what.
Friday Eve.
Yeah, Friday Eve.
So
Okay.
a show that gradually eases you into the weekend.
Yes, indeed. It's been a fun day today on Wake Up Nigeria. We have loads coming your way again tomorrow morning from 7 a.m., y'all. All right, then.
Have a great day, people.
Bye.
Thank you.